What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the Manchester United Chelsea post-match analysis video. And in this video we will talk about what this crazy, absolutely mental, unbelievable top 4 race is producing in the Premier League. I'm just shocked by Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal and Man United. They collapsed, all 4 of them, in the last 3 or 4 fixtures in the Premier League. They can't seem to get a victory. Combined, all 4 of them got 6 points in those 12 games combined that they played in the last 3 rounds. So Arsenal lost 3 games in a row, conceding 9 goals. An astonishing turnaround after Arsenal were actually one of the favorites for the top 4 alongside Tottenham. Now Arsenal are actually in 5th place ahead of Man United, because Man United also in the last 10 games they won just 2 of them, and they have drawn 1 this Chelsea game, which I think the draw was a fair result because both of them didn't really particularly play well, and defensively they were all over the place. Also we will talk about De Gea and what on earth happened to De Gea this season. Is just crazy. But also, so Arsenal collected 0 points from the last 3 rounds. Manchester United, I think, collected 1 point from the last 3 rounds, and Chelsea collected 2 points, and Tottenham have 1 win and 2 losses in the last 3 rounds. Absolutely crazy turn of events. And can anybody explain what happened to these top 6 sides in the last 3 rounds? I think it's also part of it is because there are just so many games in the season. Maybe some teams are running out of steam, because remember that both Arsenal and Chelsea are in the Europa League semi-finals, Tottenham are in the Champions League semi-finals, and Man United also went to the Champions League quarter-finals, and they got knocked out by Barcelona. But it looks like that they just ran out of steam. Even Tottenham, who were so impressive in the first half of the season, they have so many losses. I mean, I can't remember the Premier League. The 3rd place team has 12 losses. That's like 1/3 of their games. Tottenham lost almost 1/3 of their total games. 12 losses for the 3rd place team in the Premier League. This is unprecedented in my opinion. Both the title race is unprecedented, which we will talk about it later, but also this top 4 race, it's incredible. And the top 4 race is incredible in the Serie A, it's incredible in the Bundesliga, in La Liga, and La Liga has a similar problem where Getafe, Sevilla, Valencia, they all lost in this round in La Liga. I was just checking the results, but what on earth happened to Arsenal, for example? I didn't watch the Leicester-Arsenal game, but when I saw the scoreline, even though Arsenal keep not turning up away from home, it still shocks me how easily they can lose to a Leicester team, which, to be fair, on their day they can beat anyone. And I really hope that Leicester do something really special against Manchester City, because it looks like Man City will win the Premier League title. At the moment they are massive favorites, but you know, the top 4 race is incredible. So let's look at the fixtures, because now not even Tottenham can be certain of finishing in the top 4, but because Tottenham have some difficult games. So they play Bournemouth, Tottenham, and then Everton, which is 2 tough games. Arsenal play Brighton, and then Arsenal on the last day of the season they play Burnley away, and at this rate I can see Burnley winning that game, because Arsenal away from home they are just atrocious. Manchester United though, they have on paper the easiest 2 fixtures, Huddersfield at home and Cardiff away. For Man United to finish in the top 4, they basically need Chelsea and Arsenal to not win any of their last 2 games, which is of course not unthinkable, but it's a little bit unlikely. But we shall wait and see. Chelsea have some good fixtures. Chelsea have Watford at home and Leicester away. So those are difficult fixtures, but they are winnable What on earth happened to De Gea? De Gea, I think before the World Cup, he was considered as potentially the best goalkeeper in the world. But with Spain, he had some really shocking performances in the World Cup, and that continued throughout the season. Manchester United haven't conceded this many goals since the 1980s. So about 40 years ago was the last time Man United conceded 50 plus goals in the English football first division. And that's not De Gea's fault only. De Gea is maybe at fault for like 4 or 5 goals that Man United conceded. And this goal that they conceded against Chelsea could cost Manchester United potentially the top 4. You can't underestimate what a big moment that was in this game, because at that moment Man United were pretty comfortable at 1-0, and Rudiger has a speculative shot from like 35 yards, which even like the De Gea of last season catches that in his sleep, in my opinion. He tries to catch it, it comes out, and Marcos Alonso very smartly finishes inside the far post and in off the far post, and Marcos Alonso fully punished and capitalized on De Gea's atrocious mistake. And De Gea, I think, was at fault for both the Manchester City goals, but I can't underestimate like what a big moment that was in the whole season, because Man United, as bad as they have been, if they would have beaten Chelsea, that would have given them such a momentum, such confidence, that they would have probably ended up finishing in the top 4, because they could have you know, got level on points with Chelsea, and now Chelsea are 3 points ahead of Man United, so they could have had level on points on Chelsea, and also the momentum that would have been carrying over to the Huddersfield and Cardiff games. I honestly would have thought that Man United would win against Huddersfield and Cardiff. They really should though, but because De Gea made that howler, Man United lost a lot of confidence, and in the second half they didn't really recover. And in fact, in stoppage time, Higuain was put through, and it was De Gea who actually saved Manchester United from losing that game. If Chelsea would have won this game, the top 4 race would have been well and truly over, in my opinion. So I think that De Gea mistake will potentially cost Manchester United a place in the Champions League. And it's going to be fascinating. I don't even know who I want to finish in the top 4. I think I want Tottenham to finish in the top 4, because I think they still probably slightly deserve it, just because the other teams have been even worse than Tottenham. And I potentially maybe want Arsenal to finish in the top 4 as well, because I think Arsenal won't really compete for the Premier League title anytime soon, and I think it would do a lot of damage for Manchester United and to Chelsea to finish outside of the top 4. Chelsea back-to-back Europa League seasons, it would really hurt them, in my opinion, and they wouldn't be able to attract players. Man United will always attract like big players, but it will be very difficult for them to attract the kind of players that would help Manchester United win a Premier League title, because the gap is so huge between the likes of Manchester United, Chelsea, even Tottenham, and Man City and Liverpool. I mean, the gap is now 20 points plus, more than 20 points. Liverpool are on 91 points, Manchester City are on 92 points. So the gap even between 3rd and 2nd place is 21 points. Incredible. But for example, if Man United, and they should be looking at building a team to win the Premier League title, they are miles away, 27 points away from Manchester City, Manchester United. That is incredible. So I can't see honestly who will win the top 4 race, because it's just so tight, so difficult. Tottenham will probably get in, just because both Arsenal and Man United will not probably win both of their games, and Tottenham are already 4 points ahead of Arsenal, 5 points ahead of Man United. Even if Man United win both of their games, they would need Tottenham to lose both of their games to get ahead of Tottenham. And Chelsea are at the moment in pole position as well, but anything can happen, honestly. I would not be surprised if Chelsea don't win the last 2 games, and Arsenal could win their last 2. As bad as they have been, they still have the strikers to fire them into the top 4. But I think both Chelsea and Arsenal will concentrate on the Europa League, and only one of them can win the Europa League, but it's not guaranteed, because Frankfurt are a decent team, and I'm not even sure. I think Valencia is the other team in the Europa League left in the competition. It would be amazing if you know, Chelsea finish in the top 4, and then Chelsea and Arsenal meet in the Europa League, and then Arsenal will know that it's either they win the Europa League final or they won't get Champions League football, and they will get Europa League football. It's going to be fascinating. Let me know what do you think about this top 4 race in the comments below, and I will talk about the title race in another video, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.